All right, everybody. So tonight I am going to be training on um, mindset as well as some just a few different generic type tips. So, one thing huge is to remember, like when you join the team, like sometimes you might see like everything that I do. You might see what I post in the group of what all I'm doing, or you might follow me on social media and see what I'm doing. And you might be like, "Oh, I can't do all those things," or whatever. No, you don't have to worry about doing everything that I do, right? And especially if something is working for you, then keep doing whatever is working for you, right? So there's some people that are great on social media. There's some people that are great in person. There's some people that are great um going to networking events. There's some people that are great at doing actual like booth type events. So whatever works for you, if it's working for you, keep doing that. And of course, if it's not working for you, whatever you're doing, then obviously, adjust some things. Maybe try something different. Maybe try to get, a little bit out of your comfort zone to do something different. But just remember, you don't have to do everything that somebody that you look up to or that somebody that's more successful than you is doing. But just remember, like, the only reason I have more signups is because I've talked to more people. I've, done the balance test on more people. I've shown it to more people. That's it. So there's no reason that anybody can't even join and surpass me, right? Because if you work harder than me, if show it to more people, whether it's on social media or whether it's in person, however you want to do it, the same thing. It's just showing it to more people. And then, but don't forget to always try different things. Like, even if whatever's working for you is working for you, maybe you can add something else into it too. So, always be open to that, but don't totally change what you're doing if something's working for you. But if it's not working for you, then look at some other things and maybe, get out of your comfort zone a little bit. And remember that mindset is like the biggest thing. Like, if you take notes on anything I ever say, mindset is like the biggest thing. It is so huge, I promise you. So, one of the big things is like define what your limiting beliefs are. Like, for most people, it's recruiting. Like, I can't recruit. I don't know how to recruit. I talk to people and they don't ever want to sign up with me, whatever, right? So think about what you struggle with and what other people maybe tell you. And, like if you talk to yourself like of what do I have an issue with, right? Like, why do I think people don't sign up with me? Then think about that. And whatever that is, then just start working on changing it. So one huge thing that I believe in is affirmations. Like, I used to, when people used to tell me about them like 25 plus years ago, I was kind of like, I don't know. Cause I kind of feel like, an affirmation is like if you're not there, an affirmation is like a lie. And, I was a lie and right. And none of us are perfect, of course. But I just like, I used to have a problem with that. Right. And so I don't know if anybody needs to hear this or not, but that's how I was, many years ago. Right. And I was actually talking to a pastor friend one day, and he said, you know, the Bible says, believe as if ye have received, right? So you're supposed to say it and believe it as if you've already received it. And so that just like was a total game changer for me in my head, because that's it. Because most of all of our issues and pretty much anything in our life is right between these two spots, right? And so once I started believing that, then I could tell myself, that yes, I am achieving different things. So, like, if you believe that recruiting is one of your issues, say, I am a great recruiter. And like, say it to yourself, say it in the mirror in the bathroom, right? Because a lot of times then a lot of times then that's like, like, I love you, right? You say that to yourself in the bathroom. And some people have an issue with that. Some people can do it great, but some people have an issue with it. And so just talk to yourself. One of my most favorite top mentors in the world was Zig Ziglar. Like, I have every single one of his books. I took tons of his trainings. I saw him speak in person at least 100 times at different events. So, and he was huge on saying all these different things to yourself in the mirror every day. And I'll have to find that list and post it sometime. But it's really huge. But you could just start out with a few things. So, like, every day, I am a great recruiter. I am attracting the right customers and distributors into my life. I am signing up a new customer and distributor every single week, right? So think of some things that you want and that you want to be better at, and then just write them down in the positive conotone, write them on an index card or whatever, and then say them to yourself like every day, a couple times a day. And don't say the negative part of those things anymore. So once you realize what that little negative conotone thing is that you have or issue, then have it that one time, and then write the opposite, write the positive side of that. And also say, I am learning more and more every day and becoming a better and better leader every single day. So those are some of the things that I say, like, still to this day. And, because the same thing, none of us have ever arrived, right? Doesn't matter how much money you make or to what rank you get, you still want to get better, right? You should always be wanting to improve yourself. And so the more that you read, the more that you train your brain, the longer your brain's going to work for you anyway, right? And of course, if you wear our flow patch, right? But train your brain all the time to do better and remember more and become better every day. And, if you train your mind, promise you, it will change your life. Like, that's like I said, the biggest thing I could tell you is, with all the stuff, train your mind and it will change your life. And then one huge thing too is realize that before you can influence others, you have to be able to influence yourself. So you can't lead others if you can't lead yourself, right? So if you want your team to buy a product, then make sure you're buying the product, right? If you want your team to use the product, make sure you're using the product, right? So, if somebody asks you, hey, did you try da 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 product or da 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 patch, right? You want to be able to say yes, right? So I had somebody ask me today if I tried our new joy patch yet. And I had to say no, but it's just because I don't have it yet. It has been ordered, right? But try our products also. Like, every single one that comes out, you should always be trying, even if you don't think that you need it. Like, I kind of thought, well, I don't feel like, anyway, same thing, but I don't feel like I have any, quote, bad habits to kick. But I told my husband, I want us to both wear the Kick It patch for 30 days straight, just to see what we feel, like if we notice anything, right? Because if you're selling it, you should be able to answer people of it, what it's done for you. And even if it didn't do anything for you, and listen to the stories of other people, but you should still at least try it, right? And then, so, like, are you telling your team to post on their social media to get them to join them? But are you doing it? Right? So do what you tell other people to do. Like, if I post in the group, or if I tell you on these calls, do this, I guarantee you I'm doing it. If you tell people that you want them to do, so many balance tests. So, like, I'm in a special accountability group with Steve, and we have to do minimum of 3 balance tests a week, right? of course, most people do a lot more. But even me, like I'm with my grandbaby full time, 4 days a week. And then I drive an hour each way to my son's house to go watch him every day, those 4 days. So there's a lot of times that I'm not out networking like I used to all the time, but I still get my balance test done. I flew to Canada this weekend for my Gratitude Girls partner's birthday, and I balance test 15 people while I was up in Canada this weekend. So, fit it in your life wherever you are. We stopped at someone's house last night, and same thing, just the conversation was going, and they asked me what I did in Canada this weekend. And so I kind of went through a couple of the things I did. And she said, "Oh, yeah, I wondered about those patches. Can pregnant people wear them?" And I was like, "Yes, actually, the guy that got me in it, his daughter just delivered a baby, and she was wearing them during her pregnancy. She wore them during the labor and delivery, and she felt it helped her a ton." She's like, "Oh, can I try that?" So I did a balance test on her. She saw the results instantly. And so then she was like, her husband came in and she was like, "You've got to have Lori do this on you. You've got to try it." Right. So find, you don't have to be like on like selling it, like being that person that, nobody really cares about because they're like constantly trying to sell you something. But talk to people and literally get them to tell you things that where it's gonna fit, where you can make our product or service or whatever fit for them to help them. And then when you're writing down your goals, so I totally believe in vision boards. I believe in having pictures and things and thinking about what you want to get. So write down your goals, and visualize your goals. And so think about, like, what are you going to do when you get the rank bonus of team leader? So that's $500 extra cash, right? What are you going to do with that? Like, are you going to put it back in the business? Are you going to buy yourself a new outfit? Are you going to make a car payment? Like, what are you going to do with that? And the same thing, write it down, be specific and in detail what you plan to do with it. And for each bonus, write down how you're going to spend it, right? Because if you make and visualize that goal, then more than likely you're going to attract it and you're going to achieve it. You're going to hit that goal, right? If you just write down goals like that, and remember, like, if you write down goals like that are in the future, then they're always going to be in the future, right? So you write down goals as the same thing, like what I said before, as if you've already received them, right? I am a team leader in the Super Patch Company. I am a director in the Super Patch Company. I am so excited that I've won the $500 team leader award because now I get to buy da 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 da. And write that out, specific and in detail, what you're gonna buy with that money when you get it. Write down what you're gonna do with your life as you get more people on your team, as you get more income, as you get to help more people. Write all that out, specific and in detail. The more specific, the more detailed you can get about it, the better it's gonna come to life and the faster it's gonna come for you. And remember that too when you write down your gratitude too. So of course, most of you guys know that I have a nonprofit called the Gratitude Girls with my partner Catherine, who I went to see for her birthday in Canada this weekend. And so we have the gratitude journal, and so it's on Amazon if you haven't gotten it and you want to get it. But write by what we teach in that. It's just so simple. You could do it with a dime store notebook journal. Is 5 things, specific and in detail, every night before you go to bed. That way it's the last thing on your head. Don't touch your phone after that process. Do not touch the news, especially after that process. Nothing. Write down last thing before bed. Write down 5 things. You're specific and in detail. that you're grateful for that happened that day. Like that day, not all time or in your life or whatever, that day. Because as you do that, then more things are going to come to you that you will have to be specific and in detail grateful for. So that's the end of my training. So I'm going to go ahead and cut off the recording.